Hello and good evening to all the viewers of this video. My name is Muhammad Aiman Shafi, and this is my associate assignment, a commentary video. In this commentary video, I have to talk about a subject that has been considered to have committed some sort of deviant behaviors. So, in this video, for this video, I have picked the subject which is Takahiro Shiraishi, or also dubbed as the Twitter killer. So, as a start, we will talk and dive into the case of Takahiro Shiraishi, or also known as the Twitter killer. This case is one of the unique ones since this is the first known serial homicides related to social media, which is Twitter. Without further ado, let's dive into the case. Takahiro Shirashi, a friendly and quiet kid who is kind to his neighbors and friends at school. After graduating from high school in 2009, he got a full-time job at a supermarket but quit over 2 years later. He then began working as a scout for brothels in the sex industry through the prostitution ring in Kabukicho, which is a district in Tokyo. Kabukicho is also known as Tokyo's biggest red light district. Um, in his work, he was caught and his image was circling to the internet as a creepy scout, and people have been warned if you about him. Then he got arrested at the same time. After his release, he then moved into a one-room apartment in Zamo, which is also in Tokyo, in August 2017. After that, which he started creating a few Twitter accounts, making himself known as a professional hangman, stalking and contacting suicidal people on Twitter to come to his house to kill uh, who wants to kill themselves, as well as offering helping to kill them. Now, let's look at the his arrest. As days goes by, as Shiraishi killings goes unnoticed, until one day, a brother of one of the victims started to investigate the disappearance of her sister. The brother has said to hack the Twitter of his sister, and from that, the clues and the Twitter on her Twitter led to Shiraishi, and with the assistance of a woman that knew him, Shiraishi set up a fake appointment as bait, which then led the police to go to his house to question him. But without a hint of fear, when they asked him about where is the woman, he told them about the bodies and the murders he has done. In the investigation, Shiraishi claimed his motive was sex. He wanted to use his victims' vulnerable state to manipulate and sexually assault them, fulfilling his fantasies and not having to worry about them denying his advances. But at the same time, before moving to his apartment in Zamo, he has told his father, "I don't know why I am alive." Based on multiple news reports, this sentence uh, is different from every news article, but it holds the same context that he doesn't want to live anymore. Now, let's go to the deep dive. Now, with the basic knowledge out of the way, let's dive deeper into the case of Takahiro Shiharashi. From a quiet kid to professional hangman. We will look at this from a psychological framework which uses the theory of Phil Zimbardo seven, which is the seven social processes that agrees the slippery slope of evil. But we won't be stating all of them in the video. If you want, please leave a like and subscribe and comment if you want me to do a video covering all the seven processes and relating them to Takahiro Shiraishi case. And before that, let me list down all the seven social processes. The first is mindlessly taking the first small step. The second, dehumanizing others. The third, the individualized self, or also known as anonymity. The fourth, diffusion of personal responsibility. The fifth, blind obedience of authority. The sixth, uncritical conformity to group norms. And the seventh, which is passive tolerance of evil through indifference. Sorry, my finger doesn't want to cooperate. We will be covering a few of the seven social processes. Now, let's dive into the deep. One of the first social processes that we be talking about is mindlessly taking the first step. This usually means that the person who, without knowingly, succumb to social deviance, they tend to create a sense that the derogatory phrase face is normal or harmless. In a news article by SBS News said that when in high school, Shiraishi and his friend enjoy choking each other for fun. They feel like choking each other is okay and just for the fun of it. In the same article, an anonymous person said that he once passed out while playing the choking game. They even turned it into a game. Um, and this shows that how Shiraishi has taken the first steps on method in killing his victims, which in the killing spree showed that four of the nine out of the nine victims had sign of being choked to death. Another point in his life that would lead him to taking this first step is that working as a scout for the prostitution ring or for the brothels. In the news articles by the Straits Times, which said that he uses his Twitter account to lure the people with suicidal thoughts, just like when he worked as a scout for brothels and lure them to work in the brothels, them as in the victims. Now, let's move on to the next social process, which is dehumanizing others. Dehumanizing others is something that you want to be over, you want to overpower your victim or your target. In his case, Shiraishi claimed that his motive was sex and money, as he stated earlier. Uh, and in this, we can see that he is trying to dehumanize them. He stated that he wanted to use his victim's state of vulnerability, showing that he has power and dominance, and using it to manipulate and sexually assault them. Uh, the another way that he showed his dominance and not trying for to make his victims escape the last minute, he went to the victims train station and waited for them and uh, like escort them back to his home, back to his house, so that they won't escape the last minute. It's quite chilling actually. The next social process of evil is the individualized self or anonymity. to describe this is a perceived loss of individuality that can occur when someone participates in a group and basically turn anonymous. In Shiraishi's case, he never introduced himself or made himself known as Shiraishi, but rather as a professional hangman. This is also regarding his Twitter handle, which was at @HangimPro. And in the article, when the first time the victims met the Shiraishi, he instantly killed them based on Phil Zimbardo. He said that the individualization can cause a person to be extremely nice, but at the same time, they are more likely to be extreme in violence. Shiraishi was, based on the interview with neighbors, parents, friends, and former partner, uh, a guy who is unusually more gentle than normal people, a gentle character, and was never angry with women, added by his father. But the gruesome killings says otherwise. At first, he hacked and dismembered his victim, which took about 3 days. But when it came to the second victim, it only took him within 1 day. Now, with that in mind, it's quite scary if you think about it. The kid was normal until one point he started to spiral. Then he suddenly goes on killing people. Now, without getting any creepier, let's move on to the last social process of evil that we will talking in this video is diffusion of responsibility, which is said to be when a person in a group is least likely to take responsibility when others are present. And this is just my thought. What if the whole group thinks the same way? Then no one will act or take responsibility. In this social process that we will be talking, we'll go a bit away from Shiraishi and look at the neighbors. In this case, the neighbors actually could smell rotten flesh from his apartment, but they did not do anything of something a neighbor should do, such as maybe go to his house and ask if he is alright or not. Based on the interviews, they did not even bother Shiraishi. And one of the neighbors also often see him go to the trash chute, which is a place to throw out the trash. And in the reports that Shiraishi, by trying to destroy evidence like the personal belongings of the victims, throws and organs, and choose to throw them out of the trash. They also choose to not report about it, of him acting so weirdly. And with that, after talking about the four of these social processes, we have reached the end of our video. From a quiet kid to a hangman pro, Takahiro Shiraishi, Twitter killer. Actually, he should be one of the prime examples when we need to help others who have suicidal thoughts. For example, like I said earlier, his parents, he said to his father that he doesn't know why he is living. A basic, not a basic sentence, but a basic thought by most people who have suicidal thoughts. In a sense, he he never disclosed. This was never disclosed. but maybe he thought himself as a hero trying to help people who suffer the same thing, which is as him, which is suicidal thoughts, by making them go free by killing them. And maybe he looked at it the wrong way and thought himself that he was a hero. Can is sad when you think deeply about it. That a person is trying to do good by helping others, relief of their pain and thoughts of dying every day by actually killing them. With that, um, with that, I will have to end this video. Thank you to all that is watching or have watched this. Remember to please leave a like and subscribe to the video. Subscribe to the channel. And if I get more than 20 likes, maybe I'll do other people next. That's all. Thank you.